In a remote, snow-covered Siberian forest, there lay a small village that lived in the shadows of ancient legends about mighty creatures that roamed the earth thousands of years ago. These legends spoke of the return of the mammoth, the massive creature with thick fur and enormous tusks that once ruled the frozen lands. Despite the passage of time and the extinction of these creatures, the villagers always warned that legends could come to life at any unexpected moment. The winter of that year was unusually harsh, with snow covering everything and ice seeping into the villagers' bones. On a pitch-black night where the moon did not show, strange events began to occur in the village. Deep, powerful sounds were heard from afar, resembling the beating of drums, shaking the ground and instilling fear in the hearts of the villagers. Yuri, a seasoned hunter in the village, was among the few who decided to investigate the source of these sounds. He prepared for his adventure, armed with the necessary tools and weapons to face any danger. Yuri embarked on a grueling journey through the frozen forest, where the wind howled and the snow fell heavily, limiting his vision and adding to the difficulty of his mission. After hours of arduous walking, Yuri reached an abandoned area where he noticed enormous tracks on the snow-covered ground. These tracks were of a size that no known creature in the area could make. They were round and deep, as if made by giant feet embedded in the icy ground. Yuri cautiously followed these tracks until he arrived at a massive cave, its entrance unnaturally wide, like a gateway to another world. Yuri hesitated for a moment but gathered his courage and entered the cave. The walls were covered in gleaming ice, illuminated by faint glows emanating from the depths of the cave. The deeper he ventured into the cave, the clearer the sounds became, as if they were echoes from another world. In the depths of the cave, Yuri was stunned by an unbelievable sight. There stood an enormous mammoth, of an unprecedented size, surrounded by other mammoths frozen in ice. The giant mammoth was slowly moving, as if awakening from a long slumber, its eyes glowing a deep red. The scene was both terrifying and awe-inspiring. Yuri felt a mix of fear and astonishment, but he knew he had to return to the village and warn everyone. He began his hurried return, but it wasn't long before he felt something chasing him. The sounds grew nearer, resembling the footsteps of a giant creature trailing behind him. Yuri reached the village, breathless, and told everyone what he had seen. Many did not believe him at first, but some of the older villagers, well versed in the legends, began to worry. The following night, the mammoths began attacking the village. They moved in large numbers, demolishing huts and destroying everything in their path. The villagers tried to defend themselves, but traditional weapons were of no use against these mighty creatures. The village turned into a battlefield, and it became clear that survival required fleeing. The villagers escaped into the nearby forest, but the mammoths pursued them relentlessly. Amidst the terror, Yuri remembered an old story about a magical amulet that could calm the mammoths' anger and return them to their slumber. Yuri and his companions began searching for the amulet, which was buried in an unknown location within the forest. After a long and exhausting search, they finally found the amulet in an abandoned, snow-covered hut. The amulet was in the shape of an ivory necklace engraved with mysterious symbols. As soon as Yuri held the amulet, the ground began to shake again, but this time the mammoths were retreating. Yuri carried the amulet and ran towards the cave, where the giant mammoth awaited. He stood before the colossal mammoth and raised the amulet high. Suddenly, the giant mammoth began to retreat towards the ice, and gradually it returned to its frozen state. With the mammoths back in their slumber, the villagers breathed a sigh of relief. But they had learned a harsh lesson about the mysterious power of nature and the legends that could come to life at any moment. Thus, the village returned to its peaceful life, but it never forgot the night the mammoth came back.